Hello ladies and gentlemen, so today I have a very random video idea. It came to me because I was thinking about how it's pretty difficult for me to speak in an accent that isn't an American accent. Does that make sense? Like, it's pretty hard to do a foreign accent. For whatever reason, I've always felt pretty confident doing the Australian accent. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I watched The Wiggles growing up a lot. Fruit salad, yummy yummy. It's a classic, and I still listen to it when I'm having my fruit salad, which is one of my favourite things to eat. How about you? What do you like to eat? I like to go over my lip line. As you can see, my lips end at an edge that's a little bit higher than the actual pink part ends. I don't know how to explain this, but I just like to line basically past the coloured part of my lip, and it's pretty messy because I'm using the screen as my mirror. So I'm going to be applying this Burt's Bees lip gloss. I've been switching over to natural products, natural cosmetic products, because I want to take care of my endocrine system. I want to be healthy. I want to live for a long time. Normally wear lip gloss because it just gets everywhere. Okay, I had to move the microphone because it picks up on even the slightest movements from the headphones that I'm wearing. Let me know if I sound like I'm from somewhere completely different. I don't sound like I'm Australian at all. What else? What other programs do I like to watch? Australian. As a teenager, I used to watch this show and it was called Slide. It's kind of like the Australian Skins. You remember that show, Skins? I love drama shows, drama movies. They just nourish my soul. This microphone is so sensitive. I would never go out like this because my hair would just completely get pasted to my lips. It kind of makes me look like a little bimbo. You hear that? I'm playing with the headphones. I wish you couldn't hear that. I think it's probably best for now to watch my videos not wearing headphones, because I always feel like when I'm editing these videos that I always feel like when I wear headphones, I can pick up on every single sound that I don't want to hear, so this lip gloss smells like a crayon. Yeah, like a Crayola crayon. Or, well, it's made of castor oil. If you've never smelled that before. It smells very nutty and it smells greasy. It just smells like some kind of cooking oil. So I don't want to say that it has an off smell, like a rancid smell, but something like that. It has a slight pink tint, as you can tell, but it's very thin. Some of them are a little goopy, viscous. I'd say this one is pretty watery. Yeah, it's kind of watery. What else have I watched that's Australian? I really liked this reality show. It was like a dating contest or something, and it was called Beauty and the Geek, and they had an Australian version, and I loved that show. It was so good. What else? Rufus Du Sol is my favourite Australian musician. His music is, I don't know if you would categorise it as EDM. I don't know if it's EDM. It's definitely not acoustic. You like my lips? Do they look plump? I love how in Australia, well, in like the rest of the English speaking world, a G-string, like the underwear that shows your butt cheeks, we call them thongs, but in Australia those are flip-flops. So instead of being underwear over there, thongs are flip-flops. Oh, and I remember when I was in high school, probably when I was around 15, 16 years old, I used to watch this woman on YouTube, and her name is, she's still alive. Her name is Freely the Banana Girl. But she used to be a big YouTuber. And she inspired me to go vegan when I was 16. She led me to a lot of resources that ended up changing my life forever. And she taught me to not be afraid of carbs, not be afraid of fruit, grains, and starchy foods. I would love to have an outback adventure. I watched this guy on Netflix as well, and he's Australian, and he I think he's a crocodile tamer, or he takes them from their habitat that they're in because humans need it for something, but he takes them and he, I guess, binds them up and transports them somewhere where it's more convenient for us humans to have them. And that show is really good. I would love to see the flora and fauna over there. I would love to see an emu and a koala. I saw a kangaroo in this animal sanctuary that we have near where I live. But they weren't very lively, like they weren't that friendly. We saw these primates, they were lemurs. They were super friendly and energetic and hyper, and we loved them. But the kangaroos were a little bit lazy. Florida, where I live, we have alligators. I think some crocodiles exist near here. For the most part, we have gators. And I know in Australia, or I think in Australia, yeah, they have crocodiles, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Supply more. Oh, my lips are kind of dry. There's this ASMR content creator, this ASMR YouTuber, who I really like. Because she makes these videos where she's speaking with a kind of distinctive, specific Australian accent, and it's like a rich mum, a posh mum. I'm gonna include her username on the screen. But I think the accent is so comforting. It's kind of country-esque, like it's a bit laid back and it's comforting. It's also still kind of posh. Makes me feel fancy and exotic. Makes me feel exotic. YouTube is pretty weird about excessive up close personal attention and kisses and things like that, intimate triggers that might be construed as sexually gratifying like I find the Australian accent to be. I think it's a really sexy way of speaking. Maybe I can try speaking in some other accents for you guys, but for now I think I just feel the best speaking in this one, and then maybe I can do a southern accent, a New York accent. What other ones do I like? A lot of people say that I speak sometimes with a Valley girl accent, a Miami accent. I love making videos in my Miami accent. I think this is actually the perfect amount of gloss on my lips. Some women, they will actually walk around with as much as I had on before I blotted. And I think it's disgusting. I think it's so nasty when I could see a line where the goopy gloss is sticking when a person is open their mouths. They have layers and layers of lip gloss on. I'll show you what I mean. Well, this is quite a thin formulation, so I can't show you with this, but it's still gonna look kind of gross, so I'll show you what I mean. Oh, and I loved growing up. I would watch the Mermaid show, H2O. I watched it a lot as a kid. Even more. So tips for speaking with an Australian accent. At the ends of words, well, some of them, a lot of modern Australian accents, I guess because of the internet and the way that modern times are now, some people will pronounce the ends of words, they will pronounce the R's at the ends of words. But when you speak with an Australian accent, generally, well, they don't pronounce the R's at the ends of words. They don't pronounce the R's at the ends of words. Never. Come here. Really beautiful. Wow. Almost as pretty as me. But yeah, never get used to pronouncing the touching the roof of my mouth a lot when I say that. You fruit. It's getting really close to it. Fruit. My tongue is lower when I pronounce the U. I say fruit in an American accent. So fruit. Another way that I'll try to make myself sound Australian is when I just pronounce that word sound, instead of pronouncing it the way I would in my American accent, sound, I'll say sound, almost like saying the word sand in an American accent. Sound. Let's do some fun trigger words in my little accent. In my little bootleg accent. I'll say the word invigorating. 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 Isn't my voice invigorating? Isn't my voice invigorating? Invigorating. Invigorating. Glossy lips. Glossy lips. Wet lips. Glossy lips. I have this lotion right here. I did a video for my Patreon where I was massaging myself, or I should say I tried to film a video with it, but it actually turned my skin completely red, so I guess I have some kind of allergy to something that's in here. But it smells really good, and I'm not going to stop using it because that was really all that happened. It just has a lot of natural ingredients in here that might combine in a way that isn't harmonious. But the smell is very, very harmonious. It smells like lavender, which is a refreshing, aromatic, soapy smell. Aromatic is an word that's used in the fragrance community, in the fragrance world, to describe a type of fragrance that you would smell perhaps in a spa, like sage or rosemary, a lot of herbal botanical smells like that. I only use natural products. I don't like putting a lot of synthetic ingredients or chemicals in my body. And when you're breathing certain fragrances in, they can disrupt your endocrine system, which means they can disrupt your hormones. This is not good. This is really not good. So with my lotions, as I said, this one is naturally scented. And this is a perfume which is also naturally scented. It's also naturally scented. It is a vanilla lavender perfume. As you can tell, I really like the note of lavender. It's just so vintage and refreshing, but not in the sharp way that citrus, for example, is very refreshing. It's more of like a mellow, relaxing, soapy, powdery, sweet. It's really good, and this particular product actually relies on no synthetic fragrance whatsoever. It's just the essential oils that are in here. And as you can see, I've made a sizable dent in this bottle because I spray it very liberally. I douse myself in it with a lot of natural products, a lot of natural fragrances. There's no denying that you have to spray on more because they're just lighter concentrations typically. These natural ingredients are pretty expensive, and the chemicals in a lot of commercial perfumes, they are so toxic and they are so synthetic, but that's what makes them last forever and ever and ever. So you have to be careful. I hope you're liking my Australian accent. I think it's so much fun speaking this way. I would probably be way too embarrassed speaking this way to you if you were here in person, but I can do it on camera. I can't do an Indian accent. I don't know what it is about that accent. I hear Indians in call centers all the time when I'm speaking to customer support, not to be racist at all, but I hear them all the time speaking and I interact with them, but it's just tricky. Let me try to read this cancer warning on these papers in an Indian accent. Warning: this product can expose you to chemicals including ethylene oxide, which is known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects or other reproductive harm. Okay, actually, I'm not too bad. not the best, but I hope you all like my videos and the silly stuff that I come up with all the time. I think it's really fun to try a bunch of different things on camera and your reactions are like the best part. Even like the negative reactions, I like seeing the feedback. Sometimes I'm a little bit snappy, sometimes I'm a bit snappy with people who are just excessively critical, I guess. There will be some people who they will leave the same type of comment on 2 different videos regarding a similar topic, and they will be so negative. Just playing with some weed near the microphone. Oh, I love the staticky noise, but I think if you are going to be online, be sassy, and it'll help you develop a persona and a character that people either like and respect, or that they don't like but they still respect. It's important to defend yourself. It's important to toss the ball back. Do I sound like the Headspace guy? No, I think that guy is British. I really like his voice though. I find it pretty difficult to do a British accent. Let me see if I can do... I feel more comfortable doing an Australian accent. I think it's it's because our L's sound the same. Our L's are really rich. Really rich. Our L's are really rich. I'm glad that you're tuning in so regularly. My studio app, which I wanted to mention, I'm going to do a video talking about how I tag my videos, how I set them up and how I post them, and how I make sure that they get seen by the people I want, the people who I want, how I make sure they get seen by the people who I want to see them. It's kind of a complex process. It is. But it's oh so rewarding. Because the people that I get to interact with every day, and knowledge of the fact that I'm entertaining them and relaxing them and being helpful just by being myself. Yeah, have some more. Your lips are looking like the desert. I don't know if some words I sound Kiwi. I sound like I have a New Zealand accent. You're gonna have to let me know. I think New Zealand accents are really pretty as well. Oh, and that is the worst when I see this. Like, I see it all on the sides of people's lips. I'll take your hair back. 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 Crikey. 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 Heaps. Heaps. Heaps of tingles. Heaps of tingles. I'm from Melbourne. I'm from Brisbane. I'm from Sydney. I'm from Perth. I'm from Brisbane. I'm from Melbourne. I'm from Sydney. I'm from Perth. I'm from Brisbane. I'm from Melbourne. I'm from Sydney. I'm from Perth. I'm from Melbourne. I'm from Sydney. I want to know which country you are from in the comments. I've always wanted to connect with people from all over the world. I'm interested and enchanted by the way that I do, the triggers that I do. By my personality and the way that I deliver those triggers. Speaking of all these hand movements, there is one ASMR artist, well, I guess he's more of a shaman on YouTube. Oh God, I forgot his name. I'll put it right here. But I love his videos, his Reiki videos, where he, I guess, cleanses your energy with a crystal. And I've been using his videos a lot for manifestation and for helping me on this new journey, this new YouTube journey, which has been so exhilarating and satisfying. So I want to thank you so much for tuning into my video. I want to know where you're from. I guess if you're from the US, let me know your state or the region of the country that you're in, like if you're in the south or New England, or if you're in the Pacific Northwest, Midwest, let me know. I think when I look at the demographics for my subscribers, the first country, the place where I have a higher concentration of subscribers, is of course the USA. Is of course my own country. I think the UK comes next. A bunch of other countries in Europe. I don't have really any Asian or African. I have some South American. Some South American countries. But it's just such a dream. It's super fun putting on an accent for you. I normally find these kinds of videos pretty cringe. I normally find these videos, pretty cringe. Because I think that the person speaking oftentimes doesn't have a great accent, or I don't know why. I'm so glad that the frogs and the crickets are not at it. They have not been at it while I've been filming, because they drive me so mad. Drive me insane. With the noise they make, they just won't stop, and they're so loud sometimes. They make that, I guess they're mating calls. They'll make them in a symphony, and they're so loud. I actually filmed so many videos that I had to delete because the nature noise is being made, or the human noise is being made. So even though I love doing this as a job, it can be very it can actually be pretty hard to deal with. Even though there are trials and tribulations and I'm having to face obstacles, it still doesn't really feel like work. It feels like something that's so fun. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I'm gonna pick my hair up. Just gonna pick my hair up. I'm going to smoke my joint, which I don't feel comfortable doing on YouTube. So if you'd like to see that type of content from me, listening to my joint right now, if you want to see that kind of content from me, you can check out my Patreon, which I'll always have linked in the description. I'd like to start doing TikTok as well. I'd like to start getting into producing more short form content. I really enjoy making YouTube shorts. I think they're so easy and quick to make. There's basically no excuse for me to not put out an accompanying short with every long YouTube video that I make. I might as well put out a short, because they only take less than 10 minutes to make. So thank you so much for watching. smoking my joint. I have a few more videos to film today. I love being a star. I hope that you feel like a star every day. And if you don't, then keep watching my videos, because I'm going to put out a lot of informative, helpful, relevant content on how to live your best life, basically, and feel your life like you are doing your best. You are doing your best, like you're doing what you love. You're being healthy and responsible. I just think that you are all my little babies. You're all my little babies. And I'm grateful for you all. My little boys. It's mostly boys on my channel. Men. There are a few women. If you're a woman watching my videos, leave a comment. I would get 0 comments from women. I like to watch all different kinds of people. What kinds of noises do you hear outside from the nature that's in your area? What kind of noises do you hear outside from the nature that's in your area? I hear a lot of ribbits. I hear a lot of ribbits. I want to wish you a great long night of deep sleep, and even if it's not going to be long by the clock's perception, I hope for your mind to perceive it as a very long night of deep, invigorating rest. I'm so excited for you to drift off. I bet you look so cute. So cute.